Good evening, I'm Prasad and this is KiniNews. 2 billion ringgit is a lot of money. However, it was somehow transferred out of Najib's account without triggering AmBank's anti-money laundering alert. Here's more on what happened during Bosku's 1MDB trial today. AmBank branch manager Uma Devi testified today that no red flag was triggered by the transfer of $620 million or 2.03 billion ringgit out of Najib Abdul Razak's account in August 2013. She told the Kuala Lumpur High Court that this was the reason why the transaction linked to Najib was not stopped then. The 37th prosecution witness was testifying during the 2.28 billion ringgit 1MDB corruption trial against Najib. Her answer came during cross-examination by the accused defense counsel, Wan Aizuddin Wan Mohammed. Back in 2016, then Attorney General Muhammad Apandi Ali cleared Najib of wrongdoing in the 1MDB affair. He claimed that Najib had received $681 million in donations from Arab royalty and then returned $620 million of the donation. Previously, during the 1MDB graft trial, Uma Devi testified that $2.08 billion went into Najib's account, ending 694 in 9 tranches between March and April 2013. Then 2.03 billion ringgit flowed out via 5 transactions between August 2nd and August 23rd that year. The witness said that the transfer out in August 2013 did not trigger the commercial bank's anti-money laundering alert as laid down by Bank Negara. Uma Devi explained that the trigger point back then for such an alert is related to the amount involved, the stated purpose of the transaction, and the disclosure by the account holder of the reason for the transfer. Najib is on trial for 4 counts of abuse of power and 22 counts of money laundering involving 2.28 billion ringgit from 1MDB. Now that Muhyiddin is convinced PAS is going to choose PN over UMNO, his attacks on Ismail Sabri's government continue. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob and his cabinet have failed to act on recommendations made by the National Recovery Council. This is according to the council's chairperson, Muhyiddin Yassin. This comes after the NRC was criticised for failing to make a significant impact. Recently, Muhyiddin's role in the NRC had come under attack from BN leaders. In a statement on Tuesday, Muhyiddin said one such example was issues impacting micro, small and medium enterprises. He said that on May 18th, the NRC sent the cabinet a memorandum recommending that loan restructuring and moratorium facilities be extended to such enterprises. Muhyiddin added that he raised the matter again in a press statement on September 12, but the government appears to have not discussed the matter. Meanwhile, he said the NRC had also urged the government to take steps to address migrant worker shortages since last December, but is yet to be resolved by the administration. As NRC chairperson, Muhyiddin said he has no authority to give orders to ministers or any government department directors. The power, he stressed, lies with the Prime Minister and the cabinet. Zahid Hamidi has been paying close attention to Muhyiddin's remarks, and the UMNO leader is not happy that the Bersih chief still has a government platform. UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi has repeated his call for the National Recovery Council to be scrapped. Zahid claimed today that its chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin was using it to spread his political propaganda. This comes after Muhyiddin slammed the government for failing to act on many of its recommendations. Writing on Facebook, Zahid said the NRC should be dissolved as its function is unclear, unneeded and overlaps with other government agencies. According to him, the fact that the NRC is chaired by Muhyiddin also made the council seem irrelevant. Instead of complaining, Zahid said Muhyiddin should be thankful for the fact the government had implemented 16 out of the 69 recommendations given by the NRC. Back in June, Zahid had similarly proposed for the NRC to be disbanded, claiming it had failed. Attempting suicide could land you in prison. However, Kari wants to change that, but not all in Putrajaya seem convinced that decriminalizing suicide is the right thing to do. Health Minister Kari Jamaluddin said he has received the completed report from the Attorney General's chambers on the proposal to decriminalize suicide attempts.
Saya telah bawa satu memorandum Jemaah Menteri untuk kita adakan moratorium dahulu. Tapi waktu itu Jemaah Menteri kata lebih baik kita ada kajian daripada pihak AGC sebelum sebarang keputusan dibuat, sama ada moratorium ataupun pindaan terus kepada kanun keseksaan.
Speaking to reporters in Putrajaya today, he said the report will be brought to the cabinet soon. He will also discuss the report's findings with other stakeholders, which are the Home Ministry and the police.
Dalam sesi ini, kita akan membincangkan hasil kajian yang telah diperolehi oleh AGC dan kita akan menyemak semula memorandum Jemaah Menteri yang telah pun disediakan untuk dibawa ke mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri.
As such, he said whether this amendment will be tabled in the upcoming Dewan Rakyat session starting next week will depend heavily on the Cabinet's decision on the memorandum. However, Khairi noted that the Home Ministry did not seem to agree with the decriminalization of suicide when he brought it up the last time.
Jadi kita tengoklah sama ada mereka boleh dipengaruhi untuk menyokong usaha untuk kita dekriminalisasikan cubaan bunuh diri ni. Sebab saya dengar masa mesyuarat tu pun hujah dia tak berapa kukuh sangatlah bagi pihak saya sebagai Menteri Kesihatan.
Under Section 309 of the Penal Code, attempting suicide is punishable up to 1 year imprisonment, a fine, or both. Like every sane person I know, Rafizi does not want G15 to be held during the monsoon season. And now he wants more Malaysians who agree with him to sign a petition so their voices can be heard loud and clear. A petition has been launched against holding the general election during this year's monsoon season. PKR Deputy President Rafizi Ramli said holding GE15 during floods means more than 1 billion ringgit will be used to manage the election. He said people's funds would be better off being channeled to flood mitigation efforts. This comes as UMNO intensifies its pressure on Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob to hold GE15 as soon as possible. Rafizi said if Parliament is dissolved a month from now, the election would be held during the monsoon season. He also pointed out that it would mean that hundreds of thousands of civil servants will be on duty to handle the election when they should be volunteering together to help flood victims. Yesterday, UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi claimed that the floods are a narrative and a myth spun by the opposition to award G15 being held soon. Hadi may have accused non-Muslims of being the source of corruption, but another PAS leader today said the party is open to working with non-Muslims on one condition. PAS has stressed that its efforts to unite the Ummah are not exclusive to Malay Muslim groups such as UMNO and Bersatu. The party's spiritual leader Hashim Jassin told reporters yesterday the party is open to negotiating with any party, including non-Muslims that agree with the Ummah unity agenda. PAS has used Ummah unity as grounds for its efforts to engage with both Bersatu and UMNO, despite the latter two being political foes. For years, PAS has repeatedly stressed that unity among Malay Muslim parties would lead to national stability. Last month, PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang stirred controversy when he accused non-Muslims of being the source of corruption at the grassroots level. The term Ummah is commonly used to refer to the Muslim community. However, linguistically, the Arab word simply means community. Before Najib was sent to the Kajang prison, there was another UMNO leader who was sent there for abuse of power. And now he is eyeing a political comeback. Former Selangor Menteri Bersih Khair Toyo is preparing for a political comeback. Khair, who served time for abuse of power, could be looking at a possible nomination backed by the Sungai Besar UMNO division. Online portal Free Malaysia Today quoted Sungai Besar UMNO chief Jamal Yunus as saying that Khair's name is listed among 40 candidates up for consideration to be fielded by BN in the Sungai Besar parliamentary seat or its two state seats, Sungai Panjang and Sekinchan. Speaking to FMT Today, Jamal said he's open to anyone wanting to run in the election, and in his eyes, they're all qualified. Khair had in the past revealed his intentions to contest in G15, saying he never left Sungai Besar, where his family home is located. Khair was a former three-time State Assembly person for Sungai Panjang from 1999 to 2008. During the time, he served as Selangor Menteri Bersih and later State Opposition Leader until December 2010. This was a year prior to his initial conviction for graft and abuse of power. It took another 5 years before the federal court dismissed Khair's final appeal, and he served 6 months of his 12-month prison sentence in Kajang prison before being granted parole on March 29, 2016. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.